The car's rear door makes a strange sound when I press the remote buttons here. That one's fine, that one is not. Also, the door doesn't open, so the push rods inside the doors are not actuated. There is electricity going through to the back door, but electrical energy is not converted to motion. So whatever the little motor or actuator or whatever the heck it is at the end of the electrical cables, it's not functioning well. Same on closing the doors, same sound. So I'm going to have to dig it out and I'll tell you about it. I have, of course, had to remove this door panel. I'll tell you about it later in reverse order, but this was a major pain here. You can see the chewed up edges. No damage done, but it was no fun because I couldn't find a YouTube video about it. So anyhow, this wiring here is powering this little motor unit here. It's not entirely a motor. Well, okay, it's a motor. And this one is part of the latch. It was connected there underneath it from the inside. So I had to remove these two screws. I'll show you everything in reverse order when I put everything back together. But just to verify that this was making the noise, let me just put it there. Oh, this part of this motor, this is where motion is generated. And this should move when the button is pressed, and you can just there. So this is the unit that's making the noise. Just have to disconnect it, but I need two hands for everything. So I just put it together so we can ride in the car, because when the hinge is out, the door doesn't latch. So it's no fun to drive that way when you have to hold the door with one arm. Whoever is sitting here, just imagine kids riding that way. So I'll get another one, I'll get a working one, and I'll get back to you about it. I just came back with this part from the local auto store. This is the faulty one. The new one costs $105 for this. Worth maybe, I don't know, $5 of plastic, and there's a small motor inside. So $105 is not happening. So people put it together. I see 4 screws on it. People can take it apart. I'm hoping it's just a worn plastic, something that I can fix, replace, get by, or whatever, bypass, I don't know. But there is a motor inside. I'm going to explore it in a sec. I have my power unit here set to 12 volts, close enough. It is a motor that runs indefinitely inside, unlike in the car. If I just power it with 12 volts, it just keeps running, because in the car the circuit is built in a way that it cuts power after 2 seconds, because that's enough to open the door on a car. So my motivation level is really high to take this one apart and see what's inside, because $105, that's a joke. That's not happening. Yeah, $30, yeah, sure, yeah, $30, yeah. It's worth about $5, according to my estimate in my world, you know. If you have a different opinion, that's good. You're entitled to it. Let's see. So these screws, I don't know what's inside. This is happening live now. I really don't know what's inside, other than a motor, some kind of a motor. Alright, so there's this cam mechanism there. That's what's inside. There's a little bit of lubricant there and there and there, and there is some kind of a seal that runs around it and comes out here. I don't want to mess with the seal. There's a little motor, there's plastic gears. This one is turning, and yeah, that one is broken there, because it's not turning this cam. That's supposed to also rotate, and that's how this cam here would move that part there. Alright, so look at it. It's got a broken axle thereabouts. Let me see if I can pop it out real fast without losing any of the springs. There. Alright. Okay, now it's all greasy and messy and whatever. Okay, that's there. Alrighty, that's another spacer. Alright, you can see it's twisted off, sheared off. Let's just get a nice picture. Yeah, that's as sharp as you can get. This one, it's white. Okay, there's not a lot of detail or feature on it, and yeah, it just sheared off there, so that's the problem. This plastic part, yeah, 30 cents. In no way am I paying $105 for a 30-cent piece. Okay, so I'm gonna try to put it together. So I pre-drill it and put a screw through it, drill a hole through it here, and put a screw in that would hold both of these together, something like that. That sounds reasonable. Alright, I'll get to work and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm kind of done. Alright, I hate crazy glue. It's crazy to work with it. There, I had to rip this one apart, but anyhow, let's do this. I'm just gonna glue it together so it stays together for the duration of the drilling procedure. There, one drop there. Baby, hold this one. Thank you. Yeah, we'll just alright, gluing failed as usual, but I've been pre-drilling this with, no, I'll just show you. Here is a screw I found. It's gonna be long enough. It's as thin as I could possibly find one. Pre-drilling is coming along fine. I just free-handed this one in. That's it. It's important that this pilot hole be at the center of this wheel. You don't want it skewed in the wrong direction, okay? Just give it a sec. There, well, anyhow, you got the idea. It's not perfectly centered, but it's gonna be close enough for this. And I start with a thin pilot hole and just move on to a thicker one for that matches that screw a little better. It's a broken surface that's broken on an angle, so I'm gonna have to start perpendicular to the surface, like so, and then turn later with it. Let's see. That seems to work. Let's see what we did here, because we do not want to crack the plastic, that's for sure. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I'll drill a little more on it. It's a kind of tight here. Alright, this is how it looks like with the screw in it. Is it perfect? No, probably not that straight, not even close. But is it gonna work? I don't know. It looks reasonable. The screw isn't perfectly centered. You can see it's coming out there, so I had to bend the screw to make it work. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, it's a little too long, it doesn't fit in there. So we're gonna shorten it because we've got some spare length or extra length here. This is just a file. So I just need a millimeter off or so. Yeah, getting there. Alright, that's a good length, just a millimeter shorter. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, it fits. Okay, it travels. Other way. Yeah, it travels. Alright. Yeah, it's got some... It's not super straight, but it might just work. Say, how about maybe without springs? I don't know. Say, these springs are a little... make it a little tricky to assemble it. I don't have tweezers or whatever. There. There. I don't know. This may not work out with the screw spinning. Yeah, I stripped all the threads. I don't know what I did with that screw. It's looking iffy. I don't know. I'll put this plate back on and we'll power up. See what happens. I might need to glue the screw into it. We'll see. Okay, well, it looks good, or okay, maybe it doesn't, but whatever. It's not straight enough, it's not running, it's jamming too much. Let me see if I burnt the motor out. Nope, that's good. Other way around. Alright, motor is good. Yeah, I'm just gonna go and salvage myself a little wheel like this that's not broken from an auto wrecker. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, a new plastic part. It cost me $1 to get it. Okay, because like I said, this at the dealer is 105. Sorry, this at the auto supply store is 105. At the dealer, this is not available as is. It's available only with the latch, and together they cost $340. Okay, so no, I'm going to replace the $1 part that's actually broken. Now when you assemble it, a couple of things. This motor can run both ways. It can be powered and it's either turning clockwise or counterclockwise. So, and as it's turning, this little tab here, this little part here with these two tabs is sliding in that channel there. You can see there's an end to the channel there and there's an end to the channel there. So if you want to test it, don't. With this part installed, okay? Just test the motor as is when the gears are not in the way. But because when it's powered by the vehicle, power is only supplied to it by the vehicle for about 1/10 of a second until this little part finishes traveling in that little groove, because otherwise the tabs are going to be broken off of this, or this part is going to be snapped right around the thinnest part where this was broken in the first place. So okay, keep that one in mind. Test the motor this way without the gears. Putting it together is fairly straightforward, I guess. Say put one spring on, oops, like so, on one side, and then put this thing on. Kinda don't compress it too much because it's gonna make your life miserable, but you kinda have to compress it somewhat. Let me just see, is the other one a little better, because maybe it's turning the other way around. No, it kinda kicks out. Alright, gonna have to hold it in my hand like so. that one, like so, and then make it work somehow. I want to install this thing at one end of its travel, say how about there. Okay, I just have to, you know what, I want to install it this way so I don't have to, just one spring at a time. So I only have to fight one spring at a time. Let's see. So this is how it looks like when the assembly is complete, with the spring seated against that part of plastic there. There's the washer, the black washer, and the other end of the spring. So in operation, this is gonna either open or close, I don't know, but it's gonna spin one way, compressing that spring there. Just gonna hold the end of it so it doesn't jump out like it did on the previous take, and then power is gonna be cut to it, and then it returns to this position in the middle. And on opening, it's gonna be powered the opposite way. The vehicle is gonna cut power somewhere around there. It returns back to the original position. Alright, so make sure it runs and operates and turns. That's how a good one should look like and work like. Okay, I'm gonna put the lid on it and install it in the vehicle. So I took the latch out. The latch has these push rods. The push rods connect to here at the corner of the picture here for that little another push rod, and also to the door opener there, and the power door opener unit connects there. You're gonna have to catch this U-shaped gap with this part here that moves, so you're gonna have to line them up like so, and then put the screw in it. Now I can't do it in front of the camera, I have to put it on a bench, but you get the idea how the alignment should look like. Just take your time and put it together properly, make sure it's done well. Alright, so one last time, that's how it looks like when it's properly done. The bolt is in its place, the other bolt is in its place, and that one are connected, those two moving parts. And that's how the front looks like, just for a visual reference. Well, this is all inside the door, it all lives there, but for now I'm just gonna connect it to its socket there, and now test it and see what happens when I operate the door opener. So far so good. That was open, that was closed. Okay, let's turn it this way so you can see what changes in the mechanism. Maybe, okay, come on closer, there. And now let's take a look. Alright, it's jumping in my hand too much. How about from this angle? There. Good. Lock. Unlock. There. Lock. Unlock. Alright, so this works, you get the idea. Now, this latch was inside. This is the child whatever lock that moves this way, and this latch mounts with these three bolts that go in there through there, the end of the door here. So what you gotta do here is carefully place it. It's not rocket science, just like so. It's done, it's placed. It takes about just this much time. This is real time. There are no cuts here. There are lots of cuts elsewhere, but none here. And I'm gonna check it to make sure it really works properly with its push rods once it's in place. This one is a Phillips number 3. Yeah, just give me a sec here. Alright, the bolts are tightened just like so. It's not rocket science. I'm sure it's got a proper torque setting too, but for now we're just gonna be with yay tight. Okay, let's see what happens at the latch here. Come on and take a good look. When I press the button, alright, the push rods move there. Okay, I'm gonna hold the push rods here. Yeah, it works. Yeah, nothing moves here. Alright, but the lock moves. Okay, so I'm gonna put the push rods in place and check it that way as well. I'm just gonna have to, this was, I don't know, there, sorry, there, like so, and then let me think, that one was there, through that clip there, and then this part here goes together fairly simply. And there, I'll do it in front of you. And that one just goes there, and I'm hoping not to break the old plastic there. Okay, that one's together, and this one is for the handle that's inside the door panel. It doesn't get placed anywhere just yet. Alright, let's see one more time. Where's my key? Let's see. The push rod needs to go up and down. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so apparently it's installed perfectly and is functioning jolly good.